Hey folks, thanks for joining me today. It's Florida Deere. Today we're going to discuss the John Deere 425. We're going to go over the specs, kind of the numbers that make it the tractor it is. We're going to go over the capability and some of the history behind it. So first I'll start with the numbers. It comes with a 20 horsepower Kawasaki V-twin motor, 617 cc I believe, and that is a liquid cooled motor and it's carbureted. Then you have the transaxle, which is a K90 series, and a couple different variants. They had K91s, K92s. I'll put on the video which one this one was, and we'll get into a little bit more of that later. This one is rated at 900 pounds without any attachments. So without the deck, it's 900 pounds. The standard 425 is rated at 805. The reason why this one's 900 is because it's an all-wheel steer model. So these came with power steering, so you could, so it's easier to use. They came with tilt wheel, so you just, use that, push that in, and then you can, push the steering wheel down. It came with what we call an H2, so 2 hydraulic circuits right here that are easily operational from right here, and the circuit inputs would be right here. So you would hook up maybe a snow blower, potentially a loader. Again, we'll get into some more of that later. And it comes with this particular transmission is rated at 1000 psi for hydraulic pressure and a flow rate of 4.65 gallons per minute, I believe. And it comes with a number of attachments, but the most common will be a 48-inch deck. This one right here is a 48-inch, which actually is rare out of the deck selection that you get. You'll see most 425s with a 54-inch deck, or sometimes a 60. However, occasionally there might be some issues with 60-inch decks, and the 16 horsepower PTO being able to run a 60-inch deck just because they're heavy duty. There's a lot of mass to rotate and operate with the 60-inch deck. So just a couple other things before I move on. The tire sizes weren't exactly regular stock garden tractor variety. They did have the sort of standard rear, which is 23 by 10.5 12s. But John Deere did upgrade the front tires to a slightly beefier 16 by 7.5 by 8-inch tires. Most garden tractors have a 16 by 6.5. Might become an issue. Now, one thing I didn't mention too is although the deck itself is driven by a belt, all the pulleys connected, as you can see, well, maybe you can't see. As you can see, maybe back there, there's a shaft that drives the gearbox, okay, on this tractor that drives the deck. There's the gearbox. You can see it pretty well there. And that is one of the things that makes this tractor a little bit more special than your average garden tractor. Is it's a shaft-driven tractor. You have a drive shaft that goes from the engine to the transmission, and the deck is driven that way as well. The next thing. All right, so here's the last bit of the specs that you might find interesting about this tractor, or if you're trying to figure out if this tractor will fit in your garage, or fit in your shop, or will fit and do your yard correctly. So at this point, I wanted to go over some of the extra features that this tractor would have, along with its two bigger brothers, the 445 and 455, that make it, substantially more capable than just a lawnmower, right? So right here you have your 2 hydraulic circuits right there, 4 couplers, 2 circuits, and you can run a snow blade off of that. You can run a snow blower off of that as well. You can also run a John Deere 40 loader. off of those, and then they're operated off of these two levers right here. So, and you can also equip this thing with a 3-point hitch. Okay, so some of this comes off, like this is the stock rock shaft right here, that comes off, and something substantially beefier gets put on there, like you see here. And then also you can take that sort of plain looking plate and transform that to a 540 PTO, rear PTO. And that's a big game changer with this tractor, was its ability to take 540 RPM PTO attachments. So with the proper ballast on the front, like maybe if you had a loader or some suitcase weights or whatever, you could haul like bigger tillers, bush hogs, finishing mowers, all that kind of stuff that would operate on a regular tractor. And then you could also do, with the 3-point hitch, you could do a category 0 or a limited category 1 3-point hitch. So those things make this tractor substantially more useful when you add loaders, snow blowers, blades, 3-point attachment items, the ability to run 3-point attachments with a 540 PTO. So this tractor, you know, was right around $9,000 brand new in 1995. But you can see why somebody might want to pay for that, because it was, you know, buying a sort of a small utility tractor for, you know, maybe a little bit cheaper money, but still having the capability to mow one's yard. So as mentioned before, I did say I would just go over the history. They did make this from 1992 or 1993. I guess maybe started making them in 1992, but I think they came out as a 1993 model, and they made them through 2001. So like I said, their predecessor was like the 318, 322, 332, 420, you know, probably more specifically. And those tractors were about the same size and weight, pretty similar. The 420 is probably a little bit bigger. The 318 was probably a little smaller. And then it was succeeded by the X475s, 485s, 595s after that. And so this was the first one with all-wheel steer. The next successor to this tractor would be the first one with all-wheel drive, or four-wheel drive, I should say. Hey folks, if you liked this video, if you found it informative, I hope you did. That was the intent. You can hit the like button. That would help me out. And if you wanted to see more videos like this and about my John Deere 1 Series, you can click the subscribe button as well right here on your upper left-hand side. And I will try to shoot more videos like this as I get tractors in and out. This one is actually a loaner from a buddy of mine. I'm actually selling it for him just to kind of take a little bit off of his plate. And in the meantime, I get to make videos with it and also use it. So anyways, again, appreciate you watching. I'll see you next time.